Good afternoon, everyone. David speaking. It's 1:15 on the 31st of March 2020. Very important week ahead for financial markets. I'm looking at the bullion price, the gold price, and it had a great run last week. I think it's a very bullish chart indeed. As you can see, resistance has become support a couple of times. Market shot up from that level last week. Is it going to move up from here? I think so, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see it pull back first. As you know, I put two stochastics to give me an idea of overbought and oversold in various time frames, an 8 and a 40. And when they both say the same thing, it's a really good time to be getting into markets. But at the moment, the 8 is overbought, and I think the next time this comes back to an oversold level, which may take 2 or 3 days, that would be a great place to get into this market. It may not happen, but I'd be surprised if we don't get a flush out first, and that would be a pullback down to about a 61% of the last run up, which would take us down to about 15.13. Very short-term traders may be persuaded to trade that on the short side. I won't personally. I'm waiting for the next long trade to set up. I think it's going to be a great trade. So what am I looking at? First of all, if I do see a setup here, I'll let everybody know. And I'll probably take a spread bet on the gold market itself. But as well, I really like the look of polymetal. Polymetal is a share that I held. I got stopped out on that pullback a few weeks ago. These levels, this is a 5-year chart, these levels are exactly 78% of that last range, that little double bottom. And as you can see, this pullback happened, stopped exactly at that trend line, which is always a sign that there's some bright people watching it. And also of interest is that if I do a fib from that low to the high, prior to that pullback, it stopped at a confluence of the trend line and a 62% retracement. Gold price is off a little bit yesterday, folks, and polymetal just kept steaming ahead towards that old top. The last time I looked a few minutes ago, it was up a few cents on the day, but certainly if we saw the gold price pulling back, any pullback in polymetal, certainly below £13, would certainly be useful. Now it's actually past the dividend, but the last date to in fact register for that dividend of 42 cents is on the 7th of May. So the dividend has been agreed, but we've got onto the 7th of May to actually lock that dividend in. That's a nice little bonus. So just to conclude, just before the start of the American session at 1:20, gold price pulling back a little bit this morning. I would expect it to pull back a little bit more. I couldn't buy it where it's at for all the money in the world. I always buy on a pullback. Those 62% retracements invariably happen over and over and over again. The stock indices look quite strong, and I'll do another video on those once the American market has got going. So gold very strong. Hopefully we'll get a really good entry on a pullback over the next day or two. Thank you.